I believe that it's very important that, first of all, you must consult a doctor whenever you have a problem, because you should know really what is the root cause of it. And number two is, once you identify what it is, you need to actually then treat from the root, which is very important, which is where the holistic medicine comes in. And today modern medicine is also kind of agrees with it. I mean, almost I would say 70% of ailments today are psychosomatic.
Yes.
So even things like backache, for example, they come because of a back spasm, which actually comes because of stress.
So how would you explain the word psychosomatic to the viewers in very simple words? What is psychosomatic?
So psycho is mental and soma is physical. So it's a manifestation of a physical problem with a mental cause. It's as simple as that. So you think it is physical, but it's not physical. It's manifesting physically. It's showing locally on the body, but it emanates from the mind. It's something which starts from the mind, and the pressure comes from the mind. So I'll give you a very interesting case now that you asked me this question. I remember many years ago, I was treating a patient of chronic backache, and he had a lot of problems, and he just tried every possible thing. He had been to a lot of doctors, and nothing kind of worked. So during his interview that I took, and we take a lot of time to take case histories of patients to understand the patient better, I then realized that he was working for a multinational company and he was a senior person. He lost his job because that bank, he was the banker, and the bank kind of closed down in India. So he had to go for an interview, and he went for an interview to a nationalized bank, and the person who was interviewing him was his junior. And he asked him questions, and and he was so, mentally upset with that, saying that this guy was my junior and now he's my boss and he's trying to ask me questions and things like that. It lived with him for the next 10 years, and it manifested in the form of a backache. And one simple homeopathic medicine which kind of get rid of the bad effects of emotional, trauma in some way or the other was given to him, and his 10-year-old backache just disappeared. So this is, I'm just giving it as an example.
So what are some of these psychosomatic problems that you see very commonly in people?
So some of them are purely mental, in the emotional, like for example, anxiety, depression, all of them also come from, while allopathy believes that they're all chemicals only, but we believe that it's also circumstantial, it's also social, it's also familial, it's also work pressure. I mean, research has shown today that the biggest stress that is caused today is by the immediate boss. Okay, so if you've got a happy, immediate boss, then you're happy, then you don't get so much of stress, and then you're physically also okay. But if your immediate boss is very exacting, very demanding, that's the maximum stress that you get. Today, life is so stressful. I always say this. We've got stress at home, you have stress at work, and then you have stress while traveling to and back from home. Because today, traveling is so stressful, because look at the way you should travel by public transport today in India. So stressful. I mean, you just don't know whether you're going to make it or not. Life is stressful, absolutely. And so that really then can affect any part of your body. So if you start with the head, it starts with headaches. So I've treated so many people, not just women, even men, who have chronic headaches, and it's actually stress related.
Constipation.
Yes. So coming to the gut, and that's what they say, that I've got a gut feeling. So it's always emotional. They say that anything that's emotional affects your stomach. It can be constipation. It can also be the other way around, a medical condition which is now recognized as irritable bowel syndrome. So where you get frequency of motions, frequency of stools, patients go very often, and it actually stems from
the mind.
From the mind. It stems from anxiety and stress. And people don't realize that. I mean, I've treated so many people who say that I can't go to work on time because I have to go at least 5 times to the bathroom before I start my work. And there's another condition like this also which you get, which is called irritable bladder syndrome. I'm saying you always know that the toilet's always full before an exam or before an interview. The mind is a very strong precipitator of a lot of problems, and we don't seem to realize that. And then what happens is we treat the mind and the body separately.
Yes.
So we'll give you an anti-anxiety medicine in allopathy, and we'll give you a physical, anti-painkiller for your body. We don't realize that they're connected. So which is why homeopathy and medicines like this, therapies like this help, like yoga as well, because they're holistic. They are mind and body together. It actually acts on you as a whole, and therefore it treats the root of the problem. And that's why it is important. And this is also why even psychotherapy helps a lot. Because today, I believe one of the best things that you can do in medicine, I mean, which we do in homeopathy, for example, is the kind of interview that we take with our patients the first time. Because it sometimes takes 2 hours, 1 hour, whatever. But you go to the root of the problem. You understand really where the issue lies.
If you enjoyed watching this content, you can watch the full in-depth video on the Body to Being podcast hosted on Shloka YouTube channel. To continue watching shorter pieces of this content, you can subscribe to Shloka Clips on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video and follow us on Spotify. Pranam.